Today I'm trying out the Backfire Era 2. Let's go! Okay, I've gone about 10 kilometers so far. Let me give you some of my thoughts on the board. This is the Backfire Era 2. There was an Era 1 which came out not too long ago, I think. I thought it was only a few months ago. Might have been a year ago. Not sure. The Era 2. This is not exactly an upgrade. I mean, it's sort of an upgrade. Let's talk about the battery. This is a 180 watt-hour polymer battery. As you can see, this is a unibody deck. There's no enclosures or anything. Everything is just one unit. The battery is inside of the deck. This is Backfire's take on a sleek unibody design. The motors are 650 watts each compared to the Era 1 which had 400 watts each. So the 650 watts on each motor is kind of interesting because if you look at Backfire's lineup of hub motor longboards, there are 400 watts for the G2 Black and the Era, 450 watts on the G3, and 600 watts on the G3 Plus. The Era 2 is 650 watts. Does that mean this is more powerful? Maybe. I don't know. Well, I mean, after trying it, I don't think it's more powerful. I mean, okay, look, it's been a really long time since I tried the G3 Plus and also the G3, and recent boards have been really powerful. Just from feeling, it wasn't weak either. Okay, some people are gonna say it's weak, but it didn't. I mean, it's like, okay, if this is your first board, it's gonna feel fine, is what I'm saying. By the way, this is a $400 board, $399. It's the holiday season right now, so I expect that the price will probably go up, but right now it's about $400. Another difference from the Era 1 is the ESC. So this is using Backfire's ESC. It's not using Hobby Wings. The Era 1 was using Hobby Wing. I have a hunch that it's probably Hobby Wing hardware using Backfire's software. There's a lot of new ESCs on various electric skateboard brands. They're all calling them their own ESCs, and yet they all feel like Hobby Wing. So I don't know. Backfire's 42 volt ESC, so it's the equivalent of 10S. The remote is well, they call it the R5 remote, so I guess it's the 5th generation of their remote. It seems like the same as their previous remotes. It's got the got 2 speed mode, well, 3 speed modes. Got eco mode, sport mode, and turbo mode. Turbo mode has its own button. Turbo mode is supposed to be 20% more powerful than sport mode. I think I could kind of feel it. Top speed is supposed to be 42 kilometers per hour. I didn't test it out, but top speed claims are usually accurate. So the range, Backfire claims 19 to 24 kilometers, which seems like a rather high estimate. So Backfire's range estimates, they're usually pretty conservative with their range estimates, I think. 19 to 24 kilometers for a 180 watt-hour polymer battery. That seems kind of high, but we'll see. I'm at 10 kilometers right now, and it's showing 3 out of 5 bars. So 3 out of 5 bars, I guess that's anywhere from 40 to 60% supposedly. After I finish the range test, I'll let you know what I got. It is cold though. Today is 11 degrees Celsius, and my weight, because I'm wearing more stuff than usual, I'm about 78 kilograms. The deck is premium Canadian maple. That's straight from their website. Not just Canadian maple, it's premium Canadian maple. The deck is totally stiff, as you would expect from this kind of design. Battery inside the deck. The wheels are 90 millimeters and 80A, I think. They're pretty hard. Yeah, it feels like a hub motor board in that it's kind of a jarring ride. Like you go over any bump and you totally feel every bump. Like this kind of road, these tiles, you would totally feel them. I mean, okay, even on belt drive, you're gonna feel them, but like on a hub motor board, you're gonna feel them even more. I probably would not ride on this kind of surface. I can ride on the road. It's not too bad. If you have bad roads, that's something to take into consideration before you get this. The trucks are 7-inch instead of 8-inch. On the Era 1, they were 8-inch. So these are a little bit shorter, but they feel fine to me though. I mean, a shorter truck is not a downgrade. There are pros and cons to longer and shorter trucks. They feel totally stable though. Whoa, hold on a sec. I think the back is, yeah, the back is a little bit wider than the front. Can you see that? It's wider by quite a bit. I feel like it looks like, I don't know, 2 centimeters. I mean, it doesn't matter really, but it just looks kind of off. The board actually feels quite stable to me, so that could be because of the bushings, but the maneuverability felt fine to me. It was a bit more on the stable side, but if I press down really hard, I can still turn. On other boards, I think these bushings would feel really hard, but on this board, I think I was able to turn more just because it's so tall. Yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about. This board feels really tall. Once you start riding it, you get used to it, but I think it's literally the tallest board that I have. I mean, not by much. Like other top mount boards, they're about this tall also, but this is like about a centimeter taller. The downside of a board being tall is that, at least on a normal longboard, is that pushing with your foot and braking with your foot are much harder and much more tiring. On an electric skateboard, I guess it doesn't matter as much. The weight of the board is 7.4 kilograms according to my scale. By today's standards, it's more on the light side, because I think boards today, they tend to be 8 kilograms and higher, so this is relatively light, which makes it more portable also. When you buy this board, Backfire includes a backpack. It's a rather simple backpack. I like that it's simple. I'm not a huge fan of everyday carry backpacks. I kind of like having one bag for a certain thing and then another bag for something else, but that's just me. I don't have much else to say. I'm just gonna finish the range test, and then if I think of anything else, I'll talk about that after I'm finished. Yeah. Okay, I'm out of power, so I've gone 14 kilometers. Yeah, the second half of the ride, the battery went down really quick. I went from 3 bars to just 1 bar in 4 kilometers. So I would say the battery indicator is not very accurate. Also, it gave me a low voltage warning at 25% and then again at 10%. Okay, so if this is not a Hot Brewing ESC, it is very, 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 very similar to the Hot Brewing ESC. When it started giving me the 10% low voltage warning, my top speed started to gradually drop, and I finally stopped riding when it dropped down to 12 kilometers per hour. That's when I ended the ride, because I'm in traffic and stuff. I can't be like blocking people. Okay, I thought of a couple stuff I wanted to say. The height of the board, I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but it bothers me a little bit because of the reason that it's so tall. The reason it's so tall is because of the way they run their cables, the motor cables into the board. But it's like, why? There are other boards like this, right? There are other unibody electric skateboards where it's supposed to look really sleek, but they don't have added height. They don't have to use risers, right? Again, it's not really a deal breaker, but like the whole time I felt like this board is tall. But since it's a long board, it didn't bother me that much. If this were a short board, like the short board that I usually ride, it's almost this tall also, and because it's short, it feels taller. This one is technically taller, but because it's a long board, your stance can be farther out, so it feels a little bit like not that tall. Anyway, the aesthetics, I'm not a fan of this arrow pointing backward. Maybe it's pointing backward because the name of the board is Backfire, so I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. I mean, the bottom side looks pretty cool, I think. Other than the graphic with the backward arrow, I guess it looks fine. The key point here is that this board is only 400 bucks. Yeah, there you have it. $400 Backfire Era 2. It's all right.